Hey guys, welcome back to TNT Podcast. I'm your host, Trent. This is my co-host, Eli.
What's up, guys? Thank you guys for all the support on our last video. We got almost 75 views and we got 11 subscribers. So thank you everyone for tuning in. It means a lot to us. We're just doing this for fun, but it feels good to see all the views. So thank you guys.
I really do appreciate it.
All right. You want to hop into the game, bro? Because we got the winner decided from the Heat Celtics series.
Yeah, let's do it.
So that game seven, bro. It went to seven. The Celtics took the Heat to seven and lost by 19 points. That was 2 days ago now when we're recording this.
Yeah.
So we have a finals of Heat and Nuggets. Sorry, Heat and Nuggets.
Yeah, that series is gonna be something to be really, really proud of for the Heat, man. As the eight seed to go to the finals. No one would have expected that. And people forget, bro, like the Heat lost game one of the play-in to the Atlanta Hawks. So they were in elimination, single elimination, all the way up to here. I mean, was it pretty to get in here? Not really. But Hemi Butler did what he could. So I feel like we should go back and recap this whole series about how the Heat went up 3-0 and let the Celtics come back into it.
Yeah, so the Heat went up in this series 3-0, right? And when that happened, everyone was saying they just bring out the brooms, the Heat are going to win. Maybe the Celtics are going to win one game. And then the Celtics won three straight games to take them to a game seven. And I felt like the whole sports world thought the Heat were going to win that game seven. And I'll admit, even I thought that they were going to win that game seven. So it's just crazy that the Heat were able to, because game six, let's recap game six a little bit. Jimmy Butler gets fouled from the 3 point line with 2.2 seconds to go, right? And he
Yeah.
makes all three free throws, and they end up changing the time on the clock to 3 seconds, and that gave an opportunity to the Celtics to Derek White got a rebound off of Marcus Smart's missed 3 pointer, and they won the game with zero point 0.2 seconds left. Crazy, right? It was insane. I mean, what do you think about game six?
Game six was wild, dude, because it looked for a while the Celtics were just going to take it away. They were up 15, like mostly the whole game. The Heat go on a run in the late of the fourth quarter. Jimmy Butler, like you said, gets fouled, hits all three free throws. They're up by one. I'm like, okay, the game's over. The game's over. Derek White makes a fantastic play on the ball and makes the layup, and then it leads into game seven. And game seven, Celtics, they just couldn't do it, man. They just couldn't do it. And there's a lot of reasons for that. There's just a lot. And I think mainly it has to do with this man, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown.
Didn't show up. Well, it was interesting because on the very first play of the game, Jason Tatum drives baseline, and I forgot who was right there. It was Caleb Martin that was right there that took the charge.
Yeah. Yeah. And Tatum tried to do a Euro step
Yep,
around him.
Tatum comes down on his ankle and turns his ankle. First play of the game, and in a post game interview, he said that from that point on, he was just a shell of himself and he just wasn't himself. And you could see it during the game. After everything, he was in pain. Like he couldn't drive, he couldn't like run down the court. Everything was messing with him, and that obviously had to do a lot with the Celtics losing that game.
Yeah, and every time Tatum got the ball, he just automatically just passed it out. He just like, I don't want it. I don't want it. Jaylen Brown, do your thing. Jaylen Brown, do your thing.
Yeah.
And Jaylen Brown didn't even play that well, dude. Jaylen Brown shot 8 for 23, hit 8 turnovers,
Wow.
and 5 personal fouls. How are you
That's
supposed? Your main guy goes down. You're supposed to be the second scorer, like the second like top alpha dog, and that's how you play in Game Seven.
Yeah, and he even said when in the post game interview too, when the team needed him, They needed him for one game, this game, and that you just read the stats. That's what he gave them. Crazy.
He shot 1 for 9 from three. And
Yeah.
another thing in this game is Malcolm Brogdon's injured. So even their star bench player coming off the bench was injured. Man, Malcolm Brogdon played 7 minutes, shot 0 for 3, 0 for 2 from three, and that's all you got from your bench production.
Yeah.
So the Celtics were just looking for something, some sort of spark. But just watching the game, I just see them just chuck threes, chuck threes, chuck threes.
That
Derek White,
that's that's
two
it.
for nine
Yeah.
for three.
Yep.
Like,
That was it. It's like their game plan going into the game was let's shoot as many threes as we can. And if we make them, we lose. If we miss them, I mean, if we make them, we win. If we miss them, we lose. Like that was their only game plan, you know?
I mean, let me read you some stats. Derek White, 2 for 9. Jalen Brown, 1 for 9. Smart, 1 for 6. I'm
Wow.
like, you can't make it up. Jason Tatum, 1 for 4 from three. Meanwhile, Bam, Jimmy, Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, all driving in and getting 2 point layups.
Yep.
You could like you have
Yep.
no defense either. You can't back it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So after that game 6, it like I feel like any other team besides the Heat, that was a soul crushing loss right there. Like you were zero point 0.2 seconds away from going to the NBA Finals. You're about to choke a 3-0 lead, the first one in NBA history. Any other team would have folded, especially to the Celtics that have so much talent on their team. But the Miami Heat, gosh, bro, they have so much resilience and toughness that they just came out there and whooped them. Like it wasn't even a game, to be honest. In the second half, you could turn it off.
You got to give credit to the coach, man. Eric Spoelstra,
Yeah.
what a great coach. Like it was a coaching duel, and the Celtics coach sucks. He's awful. Like, how do you not game plan around an 8 seed? How do you not game plan around your star player going injured in the first play? Like, how do you like? I don't understand. Buddy was more worried about his haircut, bro. He came in
Yeah.
the next game with a haircut, and I'm just like, what are we doing here? And then he just looked like he had no passion. He looked like he had nothing. Eric Spoelstra literally outcoached him
Yep.
that game 7.
That's yeah. And that was what I saw. Like I said, they had no offensive game plan. The Heat went to a zone for a lot of that game. And it's just crazy to me how after 7 games you're not ready for their zone. It's a zone, it's the NBA. There's a reason why teams don't play zone in the NBA. Like how is your only strategy? Let's shoot 53s, however many threes they took as a team. But it's like it's just crazy. Like, what do you think about Caleb Martin's performance that game?
Caleb Martin. If you guys don't know who Caleb Martin is, if you watch game 7, you now know who Caleb Martin is.
Yeah,
The guy was undrafted, and in game 7, he shot 11 for 16, 4 for 6 from three, 26 points, and
yep,
10 rebounds.
yep,
This man was undrafted. He was drafted, and then he got signed to Charlotte with his brother,
yep.
and got released. And then J. Cole
J. Cole, the rapper, J. Cole.
helped him get a spot on the squad. And then in
Yes,
game 7, he shows up and is the difference maker.
yep.
And then
He was.
people are forgetting the Heat are doing this without a 20-point per game score in Tyler Hero, which now is available for the NBA Finals.
Is he available?
They're saying he's ready to come back game 3.
Game 3. Ooh, that's scary for the Nuggets, but we'll get into that a little later. But really quick, it's like as a Celtics fan, or as the Celtics, you don't really have excuses because you can say, oh, well, Brogdon was hurt. Oh, Tatum got hurt the first play of the game. You're playing an 8 seed without their 6 man of the year that averages 20 points a game, like you said, and Tyler Hero. They don't have Victor Oladipo. You're getting busted by Kyle Lowry and Kevin Love and an undrafted Caleb Martin, Max Strus, and Gabe Vincent. Those are all undrafted players, right? So there's no excuse, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And it's not like anyone else played really well in the Heat either. It was really just those 2 players. Bam Adebayo didn't show up. A lot of those players
Yeah.
did not show up, but it was just Caleb Martin and Jimmy Butler. And they ran a zone on you, and you cannot defeat a zone and then your main option on offense is Derek White leading the charge, scoring and just playing better than Jaylen Brown, playing better than Marcus Smart, playing better than Al Horford. And all I do, bro, is watching that game. Al Horford was complaining to the refs. Marcus Smart was complaining to the refs.
Yeah,
Grant
all of
Williams was
them.
complaining to the refs.
All
They're
of
all
them.
complaining to the refs. Just play the
Just
game.
play. Just play the game. Tatum's over here crying after everything. I don't get it. It's like it's this is it. This is game 7. You're at home. The crowd was so ready to just explode on any play. Like the crowd the crowd would have taken the Heat out of that game. They would have screamed them back to Miami. They were ready, but the Celtics never gave them anything to cheer about. It felt like it was almost over after the first quarter when the Heat went up 10, you know? It's crazy. But what do you I mean, Derek White was like Derek White still played good. I feel like he was the most consistent one on the Celtics throughout this series, which says a lot. But
Yeah, Derek White played really well.
yeah. What do you think about I mean, the Heat story has been crazy, and I don't know if you want to shift now to the finals,
I
but
mean, going into the finals, dude, I think, oh my God, it's gonna be crazy. I'm excited for the finals as a basketball fan. You look
yeah,
forward to this from the beginning of every NBA season, and you're like, oh, my team make the playoffs. So then if you keep winning, will my team make the finals? And it's like the Nuggets, scary. They're the first seed. They're supposed to be here. They wiped out some good teams.
yeah,
They wiped out Kevin Durant. They wiped out Devin Booker. They wiped
yeah,
out LeBron James. They wiped out Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns. They just wiped them out. And
yeah.
now you're going in and you're playing Miami. Miami's a tough team. They got grit. They got grind. But the thing that scares me is like Miami is tired. The Nuggets have had 10 days of rest, I think,
Yeah.
which is also a bad thing because you could be out of rhythm. But
Yeah, it could be
the way the
bad.
Nuggets are playing, the Nuggets have been playing. I would not want to be the Miami Heat.
They're the most complete team with talent. Like they're as talented as the Celtics, but they're consistent. I mean, they took care. I mean, let's go through the series. They, like you said, they took care of the Timberwolves in round 1 in 5 games. Like, okay, Anthony Edwards got them 1 game, makes sense.
Yeah,
Gentleman sweep. And round 2, KD and the Suns, who was almost everyone's favorite going into the playoffs. I mean, I know they won 2 games, but it just felt like domination. They won that series 4-2. And then they go into the Lakers series, and obviously we talked about that last week, but everyone was really confident in the Lakers. I don't think many people were like crazy confident they would beat the Nuggets easily, but I don't think anyone expected them to get swept. That's crazy. It just shows you that the Nuggets go in and they take care of business, where the Heat have been through a lot and they're kind of the underdogs here. So it'll be a great finals matchup, like you said, as a basketball fan. But what do you think the Heat have to do in this series to make it more competitive for them to win?
so you got to contain Jokic somehow. So the way you contain Jokic is not let him facilitate. The moment he starts facilitating, Jamal Murray, KCP, and Michael Porter Jr., they all get on fire. They all start hitting their threes. They all start like, and then that team just evolves. If I were the Heat, I let Jokic drop 40 on me, and then I contain every single other player you can, and just beat him that way. That's the only way that I see in my eyes that you let him win. Letting a player drop 40 on you is crazy, but if you contain every single other player and you put Jimmy Butler on Murray and you contain him, you might have a chance.
Yeah, yeah, because once Jokic is going to get his, to your point. Once Jamal Murray starts going, that's when it's super tough to beat them. I think that the Heat are obviously it's almost like a David versus Goliath here. The Heat are literally the 8th seed, and the Nuggets are the 1 seed. I mean, the Nuggets have been amazing, and the Heat have been a great story. I don't know. I would say that Jokic is going to get his in this series. I don't think anyone on the Heat can stop him. They'll probably put Bam on. You think they'll put Bam on him?
they'll put Bam on him and just try and then try to double when they can, but that's just
Yeah,
dangerous because Jokic can find literally anybody on the floor at any single time.
that's the thing. It's like the Heat are not going to be able to play zone against the Nuggets because Jokic will destroy them on if they try to play zone. I think. You think you know how they were playing zone against Celtics and it was working? Will that work against the Nuggets?
No, because Jokic, like you said, will destroy him. KCP shoots the three ball like nobody else. Eric
They're
Gordon
all
has the ability
shooters.
to shoot
Yeah.
three. Jamal Murray has the ability to shoot three. Michael Porter Jr., Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, these guys all can shoot a three pointer and they can all make them at a very consistent clip.
Okay. So interesting question here. Who on the Nuggets is the X factor for that team to win this series? And don't say Jokic or Murray because obviously they need to play good, but who has to be the third person to step up on that team?
Michael Porter Jr. It comes down to Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. in the previous series versus the Lakers played really, really well.
Yeah.
He was averaging 10 rebounds a game, giving 15 to 20 points a night. If he shoots his threes and makes them and then can defend, and then the way he was passing the Lakers series, he doesn't pass much. We all know that.
Yeah.
But he was actually passing. The team is so dangerous with him when he's playing at a consistent clip. But if he doesn't show up, it's going to be hard because Michael Porter Jr. has had games where he drops 4 points in the whole
Yeah.
game, and
He's
they
had
wonder
the
why, like what happened.
yeah. I don't know, but so for the Heat, it's almost like, man, I want the Heat to be competitive in this series, but it's hard from the outside looking in because it's like, in my opinion, I just think the Nuggets are such a good team. I don't think the Heat have faced a team like the Nuggets this playoffs. I mean, I know they beat the Bucks and the Celtics, but both those teams had major flaws in them, you know. And
Yeah.
don't forget that Giannis was hurt for two and a half of those games. The Heat still would have won, in my opinion, but it's just and then they played the Knicks in the second round, who got, I mean, they exposed them, which was, don't get me wrong, the Heat have been absolutely impressive. Like they've been amazing, but I don't know, like for the Nuggets, I think it's going to be easier for them to lock down the Heat maybe a little more. I mean, what do you think the defensive matchups for the Nuggets, like who do you think the Nuggets are going to put on like Jimmy and Caleb Martin?
I mean, that's a tough one because you look at it. I think you run MPJ on Caleb Martin because he's athletic, he's tall, and he can kind of guard him because Caleb Martin grabs a lot of rebounds too. The man's only 6'7", but grabs like 10 rebounds a game the past two
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
So you got to put a tall guy on Caleb Martin. And then on Jimmy Butler, you put KCP. KCP is a really, really good defender. And then when
Or
he
Aaron
subs,
Gordon. Aaron Gordon's a really good defender too, and he's taller.
yeah, you can switch on that. But don't forget when Bruce Brown comes in, he gives you a really good defense too. Gives you a lot of good defense. And so they're going to be switching consistently on Butler. And then they'll try to have Jokic on Bam. Or they might switch it if Bam is too athletic for Jokic to like hold. They'll put Aaron Gordon on Bam.
Yeah.
And then they'll decoy Jokic on like the corner and just let him like just grab every rebound from that side.
Yeah.
Because the Nuggets are so versatile, they can put Aaron Gordon on Bam and that will work. They could put Mark and Porter Jr. on a
That's
guy.
true. Yeah.
They can put a lot of guys on the guys, and that's what makes their team so dangerous. People forget in that final game against the Lakers, the Nuggets only ran 7 people. They only played 7 guys.
Yeah.
They played their starters, and then they had Christian Braun and Jeff Green come off the bench. And because I think they started Bruce Brown that
And
game, or
oh
maybe it was,
no,
but
they play those eight because Bruce
it
Brown
was
comes off the
yeah,
bench. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But I'm just like, they're only playing 8 guys. The Heat play a lot more people.
Yeah. The
So we'll
Heat. Yeah.
have to see.
So I was gonna say, funny thing about this series is that these two teams have a history,
They
and
do.
it's it's a famous thing where, was it in the
Yeah.
bubble that it
It was,
happened?
it was, it was in the bubble.
It was in the
This
bubble.
man,
Yeah.
the guy's not even on the team anymore.
Yeah.
But this guy, Marcus Morris, whatever, comes up to
Love that
Jokic,
list.
shoves him on a pass, and Jokic did not like that. Not at all. Jokic runs, just body slams this man
Yeah.
and falls on the floor. And then Jimmy Butler says, I'll see you in the back. I'll see you in the back. And then the whole team pulls
And they
up,
were in the back.
watching him.
They
Yeah.
were waiting for him in the back. It was crazy.
Yeah,
It
they
was
pull
so
up. But then
crazy.
what's even more crazier, the Jokic brothers got in on it too.
Yeah.
And they were ready to fight Jimmy Butler and everyone too. And people that don't know the Jokic brothers, they're from Serbia and they're massive.
Serbian mafia. I mean, they're just like they look just like Jokic. So if everyone imagines Jokic as this 7 foot monster, his brothers are just like him. So there's three Jokic's coming at you. I would take
Yeah.
them. But yeah, there's a little bit of bad blood. I mean, that was like what 3 years ago, but still, like I'm sure they think of that going into this. I'm sure Jokic thinks of that. Um, Gosh, it's such a win-win situation for me as a fan because if Jokic and the Nuggets win the finals, Jokic gets his first um ring and he'll most likely get MVP. That'll be like I love Jokic as a player, so that'll be great for his legacy. And then on the other side, if the Heat win this series, Jimmy Butler gets a ring. And I'm a huge Jimmy Butler fan because he's an ex-Bulls player, obviously, and the Bulls are my team.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a win-win either way. Like this is the best series that you could have asked for as a fan, unless you're a Laker and a Celtics fan, because obviously all the Lakers and Celtics fans wanted a rematch, the
Yeah.
classic rivalry. But what? So the game one is tomorrow at 5:30, right? 5:30. Uh,
Yeah.
Game one, but so we need to do predictions before this series starts, and then we can come back next episode, and see how we're looking. But what do you think? Who takes this series and how many games?
Well, just chiming off your point, I think you're right on every single thing. Like Jokic can get his first ring to solidify himself as one of the greatest big men to ever play, and then Jimmy Butler getting a ring would be awesome.
Yeah.
But my predictions going on this series, I got the Nuggets winning in 6. I got them winning 4-2. The way they go about this is they're going to win at home. They're going to take 2 games. They're going to go. They're going to win one in Miami. Miami's going to come back, win one, and then I think Denver ends it in game 6. That's the way I'm taking it, and that's the way I'm going to rock with it. What about you?
All right, I like that. I want to agree with you. I'm gonna give a hot take here. All right, this is gonna be an extremely hot take. So I think the I think the Nuggets are gonna win this series 4-1, and I think that the Heat are gonna win one of the first 2 games in Denver, and it's gonna be 1-1 going back to Miami, and I think Denver's gonna win 3 straight.
I
That's
can see that.
yeah. I don't know. I think that the first game always feels like a feel out game. So I think the Heat can maybe steal the first one. But I think for sure the Nuggets will win the series. I think in my head, my mind is saying like Nuggets in 6. I think Jimmy will get them too. Caleb Martin will, they'll be hitting their shots for 2 games. But
Yeah.
we're both picking the Nuggets. I mean, are there many people picking the Heat in this series, you think?
Heat fans. Pretty sure.
Yeah, Heat fans, Kyle Lowry fans.
I mean, but the Heat are used to being the underdog, man. The Heat, no one's picked the Heat all playoffs. So if they were to win, would you really be that surprised? Yeah, but I'm like, they've done this the whole playoffs.
That's true. I mean,
So
yeah, they've been an underdog in every single series. Didn't ESPN give them a 3% chance to win the Celtic series?
a 3% chance to
Yeah,
win the Celtics series, yes,
yeah.
and the 97% chance the Celtics win, and obviously they were wrong. So we'll have to see going into it tomorrow, and that kind of leads us into our locks of the day.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
do you
our
have any
locks
locks for
are
tomorrow for
yeah for
tomorrow's
tomorrow.
game?
Tomorrow's game, not tonight. Tomorrow's first game one. Go ahead, Trent.
I got 2 locks, and then I'm sure Eli has 2 locks of his own. We'll
That'll be
see.
our thing. We're gonna give 2 locks each, and mostly we use Prize Picks, so that's where we get our lines from. But go ahead.
I got Michael Porter Jr. over PRA at 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I really think Michael Porter Jr. is going to be the X factor in this series. I think he's going to be the X factor in this game. I think he's going to be a really good player tomorrow.
All
And
right.
then I got Caleb Martin, points and rebounds at 23.5 as well. Over. This man has grabbed 15 and then 10 rebounds the past games, and he's dropped 25 points in the last 2 games. I think Denver can contain Caleb Martin, but I think he's just so like on a hot streak right now. You just got to follow the wave. You just got to continue to take it.
All right.
What about you?
All right. Well, there is a Jokic free square on Prize Picks, which we'll be using, but there's actually another free square that they don't even tell you about, but it's right there. And it is a lock. It is a lock, Trent. I don't care what anyone says. I've never seen Bruce Brown not make a three in one game. Bruce Brown over 0.5 threes. All he has to do is make one three, just one. Bruce Brown all game. He shoots like 3 or 4 a game. He's making one. I don't care. He's making one. It's the easiest bet ever. Now he didn't hit it last game. He didn't hit it. He didn't hit it game 4. He didn't make a three, but I think he shot 3 times, and I think I remember they all look good. So it's hitting.
You gotta rock with it.
It's hitting. And then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Jimmy Butler rebounds at 7. I mean, he's hit that 4 out of the last 5 games against the Celtics. I think that the Nuggets are going to be shooting a lot of threes, getting a lot of shots up on the Heat. They play pretty quick, so I think Butler's going to easily grab 7 rebounds or more.
Those some good locks right there. So I got 2 locks. You got 2 locks. We got a Jokic free square and apparently a Bruce Brown free square in that one.
I'm telling you. I'll come back next week and I'll show you guys the money I win off of that Bruce Brown free square. All right, bro. Do you want to transition now from sports to movies?
Let's transition into the movie category for sure. I know tomorrow is Across the Spider-Verse. And I know both of us are going to go see that tomorrow.
Yep.
Are you excited for this movie?
Oh, yeah. Super excited. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to break records. We all know how the first one went and how it broke records. And early reviews on this Spider-Verse movie, it's already at a 98% Rotten Tomato, and critics are saying it's better than a masterpiece, if it was possible.
I believe it.
So that doesn't get you excited, then I don't know what does. And especially if you're a Spider-Man fan, yeah, you're going to be sitting pretty and just enjoying a roller coaster of a ride.
The rest of this episode is going to be a little Spider-Man themed to get in the mood for tomorrow. We're going to go see Across the Spider-Verse. So we're going to do a little special thing here on the movie category today. We're going to rank. Me and Trent each individually made rankings on all the Spider-Man movies, which there's 9 of them, 9 Spider-Man movies. And we're talking not like the only animated one is Into the Spider-Verse, but the other ones are all live action. So Trent, each individually made our lists and we don't know about them. So this is going to be interesting. Do you want to start off at 1 or 9?
Let's start at 9.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. We should go backwards.
Do you want to start or should I start? Or do you want to go one at a time?
Wait, yeah, let's go one at a time. So starting off with the worst Spider-Man movie, what is your number 9?
Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire.
Wow. Really?
I don't like that. I don't like that movie at all. And you're gonna think my rankings are kind of wild. I told you this on the phone.
You got some hot takes, huh? Some hot takes coming.
I told you this about it, and I just think Toby's weird. Like he just acts weird. He looks weird, and I don't think that's Spider-Man. I think he's a better Peter Parker, and this first movie just doesn't do it for me.
The movies are a little goofy. If you go watch them again, like now, like 15, 20 years later, they are really goofy. So I mean, I'm not mad at you. I would say that the reason why my number 9 is not Spider-Man 1 is because the Goblin is such an iconic villain, and Willem Dafoe absolutely murders that role.
I agree.
And it's like it was the first Spider-Man movie, it was kind of like Iron Man 1 for the Spider-Man movies.
Well, there's just better Spider-Man movies.
There is. I'm not I'm not saying there's not.
All right, what's your number nine?
Um, okay, my number nine is Spider-Man 3. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3.
You don't like the boy Maguire?
I don't like the Bully Maguire. That movie, it was supposed to be way better. It was just not good.
All right, moving on. So, you ready for my number eight?
Yeah, go eight.
I got Spider-Man 3.
Okay, okay, respectable.
I just I like the meme Tobey Maguire, and I like the meme of Boy Maguire, and I liked how he says, "Go buy me some shade," and he just gets knocked over. It's kind of funny.
That movie's really goofy too.
Yeah, and then the guy that played Venom is terrible.
Yeah, he was
So,
terrible. Yeah. The Venom
what's your
suit was cool, but that was it. My number eight is the Amazing Spider-Man 1. Just one. I that movie is
oh,
it's
that's crazy.
so it's hard, bro, because I like it. I like it. I love Andrew Garfield, but his movies were just did not do him justice. They didn't. And
That's crazy.
yeah, that's my number eight.
Okay, so you ready for my number seven?
Yeah.
I got Spider-Man: Far From Home. Number seven. I think this is a proper ranking for this movie. I like Mysterio in this movie, but the whole movie itself just didn't do enough for me.
Yeah.
What's your number seven?
My number seven is Far From Home.
Okay, at least we're right on that.
So I'm glad we both have those down there.
Yeah, yeah,
Like at least we agree on that. I feel like everyone hypes that movie up way too much.
yeah. I didn't enjoy it. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I was like,
It's
okay,
hard
that's
because we love all the Spider-Man movies, obviously, but this is a list, like this is a ranking. What's your number six?
the Amazing Spider-Man number one with Andrew Garfield. That's my number one.
Oh, okay.
Um, I love Andrew Garfield. I love him. I love him. He's my Spider-Man. I think he's the best Spider-Man. And so watching that, going to the theater with my mom, my uncle, and everyone else, it was amazing to watch. So, what's your number six?
My number six is Spider-Man 1.
Okay, so we basically have
So
the
we
same
we
movie.
have the
Bottom in
same
a different order.
bottom four. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. What? You ready for my number five?
go ahead.
I got Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Okay, okay.
Homecoming, Tom Holland, first Spider-Man. Can't go wrong with it. Homecoming, I thought it was a really good movie, especially rewatching it. I think they did a really good job just in general with this movie.
Yeah, that
So,
movie. Oh yeah, I think that movie is extremely underrated as a Spider-Man film. But my number five is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I love that movie.
uh,
Don't get me wrong. I wish that movie was so much better in the writing because the visuals and the fight scenes were probably the best Spider-Man visuals and fight scenes we've had in live action. Amazing. But
yeah,
yeah, it's my number five. What's your
yeah.
four?
My number four, I got Spider-Man two.
Spider-Man 2. Okay, Tobey Maguire,
Spider-Man
Spider-Man 2.
two.
Okay.
Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man two with Doc Ock. I think that movie is really, really good. But after just rewatching it, like I said, Mary Jane's goofy. Like he's goofy. But the fight scenes and the train scene and the Spider-Man scenes and him swinging and J.K. Simmons' performance, that
Yeah,
movie like
iconic.
holds really well iconically. And I think that's a good ranking. And I might be a little biased. That's why I have another movie up above it. But
Yeah, I know which movie you have, but
yeah,
my number four is Homecoming. So I was one away from you right there. That Homecoming is such an underrated movie because it is the first movie of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, right? And it's such a small story, and but that's what Spider-Man is, He like unlike Far From Home, where it was like this huge story, like in another country, like that's not as much Spider-Man to me as like an everyday hero story, learning to be a hero, and I love that scene where Iron Man comes out of his suit and is like, if you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve the suit, it's so good, So
like
that's my number four. What's your three?
The Amazing Spider-Man two.
Okay.
You kind of already said the fight sequences, the Andrew Garfield, Electro, every single thing about that movie is what I wished, and that movie left me heartbreaking when Gwen passed away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It broke me, dude, and that's what a movie's supposed to do, is either cheer you up or break you,
Yeah.
and that one broke me. Um, and that's the reason why I have this ranked so high. I wish Andrew Garfield got a third movie, and I would love to see that.
Yeah.
So what's your number three?
So that's crazy. It's top three for you. I love that movie. But and this is funny because I think we have the first two the same, but my number three is Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2. Like you said, is just iconic. And that is that is such a Spider-Man story because Peter struggles with every time he tries to be Peter Parker, then Spider-Man is hurt. And every time he tries to be Spider-Man, then his real life and Peter is hurt. So it's the classic balancing act that he has to do. It's just a great Spider-Man story, and everything is iconic about that movie.
I agree. And then I think my number two. It's gonna be Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
I
bro,
know.
I sat here so long debating those two.
Yeah, I have No Way Home, man. Doctor Strange, Tobey Maguire coming back, Andrew Garfield coming back, Tom Holland fighting Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Electro, all of them
Yeah.
coming back. Iconic. I
It
saw that
was
movie 4 times in the theater. I was so excited calling my mom on the way to the movie, and she was so happy, and everyone was so happy for me, the excitement I had going to that movie.
Yeah, I know. The world was excited for that movie. It was amazing. So
What's
mine's
your number
different.
two?
Mine's different. I got into the Spider-Verse at two. And I got
Whoa.
No Way Home at one. It's so close though. It's so close.
Wow.
I just
And
think No Way Home is just it. You have those three, so how can it get better? It was just amazing.
what's crazy is we saw Spider Verse together, and I walked out, and I was like, yeah, like I just didn't have to grow on me. And
I
then
don't think your mind was in it the
I
first
don't
time.
think I, yeah, the first time I saw it, and then I rewatched it, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then I rewatched it again, and I'm like, yeah, this movie's great. And
Yeah,
then I watched it again with Breland like a few months ago, and I was like, yeah, this movie is
yeah.
it's it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, those two are interchangeable because Into the Spider-Verse is just it's a comic book movie come to life, literally. I mean, you can take any scene out of that movie and it looks like a comic book. It's so crazy. I love that movie. I'm so excited for the second one tomorrow.
I want our subscribers to drop their rankings below.
Yeah. And go through your list one more time before we move on to video games. Go through your list, start with one and go to nine.
Into the Spider Verse, Spider Man No Way Home, TASM 2, Spider Man 2, Spider Man Homecoming, TASM 1, Spider Man Far From Home, Spider Man 3, Spider Man 1.
Okay, so I got at one, I got No Way Home. Two, I got Into the Spider-Verse. Number three, I got Spider-Man 2. Number four, I got Homecoming. Number five, I have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Number six, I got Spider-Man 1. Number seven, I got Far From Home. Number eight, I got The Amazing Spider-Man 1. And then number nine, I got Spider-Man 3. Our lists are not that different. We switched some things, but hey,
You respect our reasoning on each one. So,
yeah, that was fun though. You want to move on to video games?
yeah, let's move on to video games.
All right. Okay, so a new trailer came out for Spider-Man 2, the video game, right? And it looks insane. I mean, us and our friend groups are just like so excited about this game. This is It's Spider-Man 2, but this is the third game in the series. So the first one was obviously Spider-Man PS4, which was an amazing game. Spider-Man fights the Sinister Six. It was awesome. And this great story, amazing Spider-Man story. And the second game was a smaller game, but it was almost like a bridge between Spider-Man 1 and 2 because in the second game it's Miles Morales' game and it was also a really good game. I wish there was a little more to it, but still it was a Miles Morales story and it was introducing us to his character and giving us backstory to his character. And both of those games are leading to this one, Spider-Man 2. I mean, you saw that gameplay footage, right? It was absolutely insane.
It was amazing. I mean, I would have known about the Sinister Six because I got stuck on the Mary Jane mission.
Mary Jane Mission Trent right here, yeah. We're
Um, I saw that there was more Mary Jane missions in this new game, so I'm kind of debating on getting it or
Trent is
have like.
yeah, Trent's gonna miss out on gaming history because there will be more Mary Jane missions. So it's good
I'm
to
not
hear.
sure, but just in that trailer, like all jokes aside, in the trailer it looks absolutely insane. Seeing Peter in the Venom suit, the symbiote suit, oh my
Yeah,
god!
yeah.
It's
So the end of the Miles Morales game left us with a crazy like cliffhanger. We saw Norman Osborn, which is the Green Goblin, and his son, Harry Osborn, was in this like almost like a Star Wars like Bacta chamber or whatever, Bacta tank, and he had the venom on him, you know, and he was like barely alive. So, and then we see in the gameplay footage that now Peter Parker has the Venom symbiote on him. So we're really curious to see what happened there, how he has it, and the main villain of this, I think, like quote unquote, the main villain of this story is going to be Craven the Hunter, who looks like a beast and he's ready to just kill anyone that comes in his path. Like he looks awesome. He's this huge dude, and not to mention the lizard was also in this footage.
Yeah,
He looks insane. He looks like Godzilla going through that water. I mean, they did like a redesign on his character too, and it looks so cool. So there's so many villains in this story again, which is normal for a video game. You have to have multiple villains, you know, but I'm so excited because the way that they meshed all the villains, I mean, they did a Sinister Six lineup in the first game, and the way that they meshed all those villains was so good that even just everything flowed. So I know that it's going to be the same for this game, and that comes out this fall, and we're super hyped for that. At least I am. Maybe I hope they maybe I can come over to Trent's place when the Mary Jane mission comes up and do it for him. But
PS4 users are in shambles right now. Xbox users are in shambles
that's
right now.
true. If you don't have a PS5, you cannot play this game. And I'm so lucky that my girlfriend bought me a PS5 because, or else I wouldn't be playing this game.
And we're gonna get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm super hyped for that. I'm hyped for game one of the NBA Finals tomorrow. And yeah, that was a good episode, bro. That was fun. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Thank you for everyone to tune into the first episode, and thank you to anyone that tunes into our second one. We're excited, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right. See you guys next week.